Welcome to another episode of Spirit Walking with Spirit Walker. So I'm your host, Spirit Walker, and this is a channel where we go to interesting places, meet interesting people, and shoot them with the camera. And today I'm here with my good friend Curtis Hamm. Come on over here, Curtis. This is you might recognize Curtis from one of Adam the Woo's videos. He's the one that led Adam the Woo to Cahaba in a video that he has. Go on his channel and check it out. It's pretty good video. Curtis has led me to Lowndes County to a ghost town. I got the hamster here. He's going to take me out there and show me around. What do we know about this place? It's called Robinson's Switch.
As far as I know, it's just a little train stop. I think it was many years ago. All the buildings are down now. They're
Abandoned,
trees,
of course. Yeah.
Trees are taking it over. But it's just an interesting little ghost town.
And before long, it's not even going to be here anymore.
No,
so
it's going away.
Yeah, it's good that we're shooting a video. We're just going to check it out. And we may make another video later. The thing that we want you to know is that hardly anybody knows the true story behind Robinson's Switch. A lot of the stories that we know, or a lot of the quote-unquote facts that we know about Robinson's Switch, are just handed down from generation to generation. We don't even know why it's called Robinson's Switch. Some people call it Robinson's possessive, Robinson's Switch, which would indicate to me a switching station for the railroad. And there's a railroad track that runs right beside it. But nobody's for sure what they had to do with the railroad or what exactly it did. It was founded sometime after the Civil War, probably by sharecropping on the land after the plantations shut down in this area. We just don't know a lot. We're just going to look around, see what we can see. I haven't been here before. Curtis has been here one time before, right?
A couple of times.
So we'll see what we can find. You ready to walk?
Let's go.
Let's walk.
All right.
This is the dirt road, Robinson's Switch Road, that comes right through Robinson's Switch. And the first building that you're going to find is this one right here on our left, the left side of the road. It's a good sized building. Looks like a barn. Again, anything we say is supposition. We're just guessing by what it looks like. On the inside, there's a back window. You know, I don't see a door, Curtis, in the back of it.
No, there's not.
If you look through the window, you can see a door to another building in the back. And there's a loft. Probably had some timber on it at one time. I don't really see an entryway to this part of the building. There's a window right here. I don't see a door to the front of the building. There was obviously no door in the front of it, so it wasn't to be entered from here. What about the left side? There had to be a way in somewhere, or it was bad design. There's still a lot of traffic down this road. You can see that there is a divide in between the two parts of this building where you could walk in. It appears to me to be kind of hay storage maybe on that right side there.
Yeah.
And then the tin that's fallen down on the side of the building was probably at one time a lean-to area where you could get underneath it, maybe have some things stored under there, or do some blacksmithing. The articles I read online said that there was probably a blacksmith shop and a livery stable. This could have been a livery stable, for that matter. I just don't see that big window. Those big windows in the side would be good for a horse to stick its head through, but how'd you get the horse in there? Well, right beside it's a little tin shed, it looks like. Doesn't look like there's much to it except just a shed. That building over there has a chimney. So I'm guessing that was inhabitable. The portion that has a chimney has a door. So you could actually go in there at to the side of that building. Could be that just that area right there is where maybe a sharecropper lived, and this was part of their barn to hold their livelihood. Again, you have that overhang that's collapsed. So you're taking a picture of those windows for what?
I'm going to take a picture of these windows, and I guarantee when I get home, I'm going to look, and there's going to be a face looking back out at me.
My ghost hunter.
I've seen enough YouTube videos to know that's going to happen.
What do you think this is? A YouTube video? Looking down the road, you can see other houses over on the right, as well as the ones on the left. Yeah, across the street from that house is the railroad track. If you cross the main road, over here is the railroad track. And Curtis just pointed out something to me, that there's a house on the other side of the track. That is definitely a residence. You can see all the way through it, which was pretty typical of the style back then for country houses to have that breezeway through the middle. That's how it cooled in the summer. Nice house. I bet it was nice in its day. Pretty straight track all the way down both sides. But as the train came zipping along here, it passed by that building on the left there pretty close. I want to go down and look. Was that a station? It doesn't look like it might have been a station from this side. There's no walkway or anything. Let's see. Well, there's a door. There's little doors in the side. Maybe it was a loading station. Maybe the train pulled up and they loaded their farm goods or whatever produce they had or whatever they were shipping. Maybe that's it. But there's no loading dock or anything. You would think there would be. What do you think, Spirit Watchers? Put a comment down in the comment section what you think it is or was used for, or what did you hear it was used for. It also comes pretty close to that. I was thinking this was either a depot or a watering station, but it seems like we would see some evidence of a water tank or something if it was for watering. Locomotives back then needed water. They have watering stations. They also had mail sack stations, and they just had the mail bags hanging on a hook, and the train would come by and not even stop and just grab it off the hook and pull it into the train. If they stopped, they didn't have a platform, or there's no evidence of a platform anymore. It's a puzzle. This building's also on the train track. It's not as close, but it's fairly close. Obviously just a barn of some kind. Has a loft. There's a door on the far side. Just a big open building with a tin roof. Look at this. There's a door right there.
I'm disappointed that the hinges aren't creaking.
Did you hear what happened to Curtis? No, but I saw the video. And this is the next building down from where we were, across the road from the railroad tracks. This is an odd building. We were looking at it. You can see hinges all the way down. Hinges all the way down the side of it. And then there's a chain that runs the whole length across the top. And little toggles, little pieces of wood that you would have to toggle to move out of the way to let that down. The only thing we could think is that you had to open it from the outside. You couldn't open it from the inside because of those little pieces of wood toggles. But you could stand on something out here, reach up, grab that chain, move the toggle, and pull it open, because the hinges come this way. I can see inside. I can see that it's not very deep. So we're going to go around on the side and see if we can see if there's a divider down the middle. It's a good sized building to not be that deep on this side. So when you come around on the side, you can see a padlock and a chain on that door there. Let's bust it out right beside it, so it doesn't do much good now. Looking inside that busted area, there's a little plank walkway that goes down the length of it. And there has to be an opening to that side somewhere down that little plank walkway. Can't see very far down it, but it's very odd that there's a flue or something down the center. Somebody tell me, give me an educated guess. What kind of building was this? Yeah, we are learning absolutely nothing, Curtis. We know nothing, we're learning nothing, but we're asking a lot of questions.
There's one of those, got the same set up on this side. One of those doors are open over there. Kind of leaning out.
That's right, yeah. Same setup on this side. You can see the chain running across the top. One of them's leaning out, open, hinges all along the side. The right side over here, where we are now, is bigger than the left side. It appears, because that little small walkway was not that wide.
Yeah.
There's another little old building. Is that part of that shed that we saw?
I think that's a different building.
Yeah, I think it is. But here is a water tank. But again, it's too far from the railroad to be used by the railroad. You couldn't pump the water that far. All the way across the road and then across the track. Then over here is a little cistern or something, a little concrete or cinder block cistern. Let's look at that. Here's a little concrete cinder block cistern. Could have been used for watering cattle or just storing water or something. Yeah, something was mounted on it because there's a little post sticking up.
I wonder if there were walls up at one time.
Might have been. A roof. Maybe like a well kind of a thing. There's another concrete structure over here too. This one looks like it had an entry point. Another old building right there in front of it. As we're coming back from this side, there's that long building beside the railroad track. This is the other side of it here. This is that long building beside the railroad track. This is the road side of it. That's a pretty good sized building. This is the other building that was in front of that last cinder block cistern. There's a door on this side. Right there. This end is completely demolished so you can get a good look inside of it. That looks like it holds water. Maybe those cisterns were to channel water up into that, or either drain out of that, one or the other. Man, if something jumps out at me right now.
At one time this door was intact. It had a lock and chain on it.
Oh, you got a picture of it. See, there's little lights coming out from that little hole in between the boards, cavity back in there. The water's going one direction or the other. These are corn husks all on the ground. That's an interesting bit of architecture up there along the eave of it. There's a little hollow box that runs the whole length of the side of the building. See it?
Oh yeah.
So here's the next structure down from the long house, we'll call it. This was also one we saw on the side of the railroad track. There's the railroad tracks right over there. There is a padlock on that door. Yeah, it's definitely fallen down. But this is a separate, this is like a storage area for that building right here. This is the inside of the other side. This whole side of the wall is gone. Over here on this side.
That's the door I opened a while ago. There's the TV.
Oh, that's the TV that you saw from the
I think so.
railroad side.
I believe so.
Right, because you open that door there on the right. So this is Robinson's switch, or Robinson's switch. And the research that I found online all said that it may have been established by a man named William Robinson, which I think is kind of funny. I expected a robot to come out of one of the buildings yelling, "Danger, Will Robinson." And his wife's name was Eliza Jane, which reminds me of that song, "Oh, Little Liza Jane." They had land. They owned like 3,800 acres in Lowndes County. And this may have been part of it. This may have been the reason it's called Robinson Switch. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. And as always, I'm Spirit Walker and I approve of this message. Say goodbye, Curtis.
Go ahead, Curtis.